cleanse.
Why is it that those 3 days are so just rough on us? Why are they so taxing mentally, physically, spiritually to all of us who have done a detox, who are cleansed?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's rough because, like you said earlier, you have just like a hyper influx of just the toxins and all the waste, and the metabolic waste that's taking place because these cells are trying to get rid of and trying to revive, regenerate themselves. They're fighting against these cells that might be somewhat deformed and having an issue, and so we're trying to get rid of all that, and all this is taking place in the bloodstream. So it's going to be an issue, especially if we're not drinking enough water, which most of us do not. Walking around in dehydrated state. So when we have this influx of these toxins and metabolic waste, and then we don't drink enough water, also that blood gets a little thicker, so it's a little slower. So as you will see, each time you detox and you get more efficient and more consistent with your water intake, then it's not going to be as rough. But that first time you do it, man, that day one, day two, that second day, you're probably going to go to sleep and not even know you're
I almost
asleep,
passed out
right?
last time.
Yeah, like you're just going to be sitting there and just, boom, I'm asleep. And then day three, you get a little better. Day four, then you just, okay, now I clicked over. And that whole mental and that spiritual aspect of, okay, I become aware of what's going on. I become aware of the purpose behind me actually doing the detox.
Okay.
And so that's what we want to happen.
Okay. Hi, Miss Samantha. Had a great time with you. Falling in love with fitness. Want to give a big thank you to her and Mr. Allen from Haptopics Professional Massage. She has a question for us. Her question is this: would an increase in fiber or the use of bentonite clay help with the first 3 days of the detox?
I definitely think that the bentonite clay will be beneficial and helping definitely that pH level of the blood, helping the body get to move those toxins along a little quicker. So yes, I definitely think it will help.
Why does that clay help expedite that process?
It has the elements in it that are able to, like I said, help balance that pH. Whenever we have that dump of those toxins and that metabolic waste,
all that acidity,
then, it's going to change that pH level. So that clay, what it does is going to make that blood a little more alkaline, even if we're not drinking enough water. But it's actually going to speed that process up as we use that clay and as we ingest that water, because it's going to push it along.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the importance of water. I'm not going to get a whole lot into it because we're going to do something really special here coming up. Jesse and I have a book that we found. It is called The Body's Many Cries from Water. What we're going to do with you guys is we're going to go through this book with you all, chapter by chapter, and begin to kind of break down why water is so important, not just when we detox, but through everyday processes of the body. It's going to be something we're going to do. We're going to live stream it on Facebook. You're also going to have a number you guys can call in and ask us questions. So make sure you're on the lookout for The Body's Many Cries of Water when Jesse and I begin to go through that book and talk to it with you guys. So Jesse, one more thing I want to talk about in the detox process. Why in so many detoxes do we see not only grains taken away, but things like dairy and meat?
Well, we'll find that the dairy is taken away just because it's so very inflammatory to a lot of people. We have, those that are both sides of the argument that, some say, hey, we can deal well with it. But as we begin to research and, we're doing more findings that we have issue a lot of times, with dairy. Whether you feel like the enzyme, we have it to deal with it or not, what we're finding is that a lot of people that we come into contact with, they have an issue with the inflammation that these dairy products cause. And it causes the inflammation of the mucus lining all the way from the airways and passages from our nose, the sinus cavities, to the esophagus, but definitely in the lungs.
Hard to breathe. If you got asthma, dairy is not your friend. Let me tell you from experience, leave that devil dairy alone if you have asthmatic issues.
So that's the cause, because anytime we ingest dairy, we have an issue, being lactose intolerant, then it's going to cause a reaction of poison in the body. So whenever we have that, just like when we sprain or strain something, the inflammation that takes place is one of swelling. So therefore, like you said, if you have an issue with asthma on a large scale, on a small scale, whenever you ingest that dairy, then of course the body's reaction is, hey, I have to help heal it, so we're going to inflame it to protect it. The issue we run into with our meat is that we understand this. While we're able to eat meat, it may not be the best thing for us. And as we study and look into it, also dealing with different blood types. There are some that, hey, we need a little more meat than others, dealing with those O's, but then there are others who don't. Also, take into account of this, we don't have the same structure as far as our teeth goes for those animals in the wild who are able to just tear into that flesh, lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my.
All that, right? So we have to pay attention to the fact of how we're actually designed and how we're made. That meat, in terms of beef, like I said, we're not going to get into it with the whole Oprah and the Beef Cattle Association of America, but understand that the body has an issue processing it because we're not an animal of the wild. We don't have the same structure and the strength of stomach acid. Also understanding that as we ingest this meat, the linings of our intestines, both large and small, they're muscles that have to cause contraction to move along, right? So if we have too large a piece of meat, it's going to get stuck. And that's what happens a lot of times when we're dealing with our steaks. They're wonderful. They taste great.
Man, that
they
ribeye,
are a great source of
medium
protein,
well,
right? When it's done right,
wood grilled.
Man,
oh, in Jesus' name,
it's magnificent, right?
Yes, it is.
But the issue is that it's going to stick with us for a long period of time, which is going to cause the swelling. Everyone knows the story of John Wayne in his autopsy. When they cut him open, he had about 25 pounds of just undigested meat in his stomach.
Really?
Yes, sir. So understanding that is just part of our makeup, right? Not saying that we can't eat, that we're not going to build muscle and all that stuff. Just understand that everyone's makeup is a little different, and I just want everyone to take into account and take notice that if you're going to eat the meat, then at some point in time, you're going to actually have to do a cleanse to make sure that your systems are running at the highest level. All of our disease, it begins in the stomach. It begins in the intestinal tract, both large and small. So the combination, right, if we're eating that meat and that dairy together, that cheese, is going to cause a clogging of the intestines, right? So we walk around here with the stomach that is super bloated and we're not feeling well. We have an issue when we lay down with acid reflux because the acid in our body, we don't have enough. Why? Because it's being blocked by this meat that is stuck in our intestines. So we just got to pay attention to what's going on and how we're feeling.
Okay, so let's just recap real quick, Facebook family. Remember the importance of drinking the water to flush out the toxins. Also, we talked about the bentonite clay and how it's going to help the body become more alkaline when those toxins are floating around in the body, all that acidity, as well as we just talked about that dairy and that meat, something that I myself have a hard time letting go, but guys, trust me, it's worth it. You're gonna feel 10 times better. Jesse, tell us real quick, how should I feel when I'm done detoxing? At the end of my 21, 30, 40, however many days, how should I feel at the end of my detox?
Well, hopefully you feel like a new person, that you feel like your old self again, right? You wanna feel like your systems are efficient, in terms of every time you eat something, you should be going to the restroom, okay? If not, then we're kind of clogged up. We have an issue. At the end of that detox and that cleanse, we should be running at a maximum efficiency. Just like we said, when we get that overhaul, that engine, when we get that oil change, man, we're going to be smooth. We're going to accelerate, as we need to. But we'll find that a lot of our joint pain, a lot of our aches, a lot of our issues, our sinus problems here being in Oklahoma, we'll find that they will go away and they won't affect us in the same manner. So hopefully by the time you get done with your detox, you're going to feel wonderful and that you want to continue to listen to your body when you make your food choices.
All right. Facebook family. I hope you guys learned some things about why we detox. Remember to be on the lookout for Jesse and I talking to you guys about the book, The Body's Many Cries of Water. You're not going to want to miss out on that again. It's going to be a live stream we're going to do chapter by chapter, talking to you guys about the importance of water in the body, not just when we detox, but through all the daily processes, the things that's going to help your body get away from. It's a really great book, a really good read, and we're going to hope to turn you guys on to some new information. Jesse, sir, we thank you for your time, and again for your knowledge, for sharing it with us and our Facebook family. You guys be elite, and we'll talk to you later.
Good night.